Desde 2019, a Toyota vem acelerando o futuro, produzindo no Brasil o primeiro híbrido flex do mundo. De lá pra cá, as coisas mudaram. Muitos entraram na tendência que a gente criou. Mas sabe o que não mudou? A confiança do brasileiro na Toyota, que não veio da noite pro dia. Toyota, no futuro há muito tempo. Paz no trânsito começa por você.
Get your umbrellas, it's raining, fellas, it's raining, fellas. Hello, everybody, Brenna here.
And I'm Gabby.
And this is the Mystery of Everything podcast. We're together again.
Yay, in the same room. So it's pretty cool. It's cooler than a regular recording.
Oh, it's so much cooler. So much cooler. It's like we never left, you know? Well, I never left. It's like Gabby never left, you know? So, anywho, today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart. I'm just kidding. But to celebrate me being able to move my mouth again, today's episode idea brought to you by the amazing Patreon member, Relic Hunter. I love our Moes. I don't know what to actually call you guys.
Detectives. Because there's mysteries.
Oh!
They're the detectives because we're all here solving mysteries. We're investigating.
Ew, I dig it. Do you all like it? Let us know on the Tron. That's short for Patreon. Sorry. So I've been trying to research this episode, but being completely honest, my mind was like so elsewhere during this. It was on P. Diddy in the rabbit hole of the beautiful Kim Porter and Tupac.
How do they connect?
So much more. Well, you know, if you really want to know, I'm writing a Patreon episode about it. Guys, I watched every TikTok, like every YouTube video. What is it? Jaguar, right? Man, she knows a lot of shit about a lot of stuff. Allegedly, I'll say. She also says some things that, like, man, she throws the F word around a lot, and not the good F word. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, she knows some things. She knows a thing or two because she's seen a thing or two. You need to watch her YouTube videos, Gab.
I might.
You watch them when you don't have anything else to do because you're like, and then she's like, Wendy Williams acting. She ain't really lost it because she went against P. Diddy and then like Orlando Brown. That's so Raven. I'm getting sidetracked, guys. Anyways. It's deep.
Save it for the episode.
I'm saving it for the episode, but I've been deep diving, and then now we're going to have a Patreon episode of the mystery of who killed Tupac.
Oh, I'm so ready for that. I think he died the year before we were, well, the year before I was born and 2 years before you were born.
You were born in 95?
Yeah, like end of 95 and you were born beginning of 96. Yeah. So.
Tupac. I used to think he was still alive. Maybe he's still alive and he's hiding. P. Diddy.
Oh my God.
We'll get into it. We will get
into it. So what
it.
Is the episode? Today's episode.
Today's episode is about allergic reactions. Sorry, guys. Anyways. So while I was... Oh, no, we're not. Never mind. No, in my notes, I was about to read about Jaguar Wright, and it says she's talking about semen-coated VHS tapes.
I don't even want to unpack that. There's just so much. Were they pornographic tapes?
Yeah, because Diddy secretly recorded all of his RAPE activities.
Isn't that like illegal?
Oh yeah.
I mean, all of it is illegal, but even if it was consensual, it'd be illegal to record it,
he
right?
like recorded all of them, and then Jaguar Wright's like, you need to wear a hazmat suit if you're the cops raiding his house because all the semen-covered VHS tapes.
I feel like
girl,
the baby oil is gonna keep them safe. The 1,000 bottles.
They be slipping and sliding everywhere. No, we have to focus. on I also said if you've been marked, I said I can't keep up with my TikTok right now because it's either about P Diddy or somebody named Bree Powers, and if you've been marked safe from her.
Who is Brie Powers?
Have you not seen all those? Sorry,
My TikTok
guys.
is so normal. It's like
Mine
dogs.
is not. And I don't know who Bree Power is, but there's thousands of people coming forward being like, marked safe from Bree Powers, because apparently she's a psychopath that does psychotic thing. That's another rabbit hole you can dive down that I've somehow got on my For You page. We're not going to focus on that, though. We're going to focus on why my mouth swelled up like I had lip injections the other day because I ate really fresh salsa. Allergies.
It looked good though. Like, I mean, well, it didn't look like the worst thing possible. It looked like
it hurt so bad.
You went a little bit lip injection crazy.
And if you're a Patreon member, or I guess, no, I put it on the Instagram stories too, because I didn't want you guys to think I'm just like being a lame.
And I saved it. So pay me $100 and I'll send it to you for, well, $100.
I'll send it to you for 50.
Okay, I'll send it to you for 25.
I need money right now. Anyways, allergies. We all have them. Most of us anyways. But what exactly are allergies? Have you ever thought about it?
Yes, I took immunology, unfortunately for me.
Well, if you're not Gab, I did ask at work today, has anyone here taken immunology? Everyone was like, no.
Why?
I don't know.
Was special. I just weird?
Everyone at work was like, no.
It was kind of hard, but I liked it.
I imagine it would be hard. Just researching this was not, it wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, I did learn a lot, but it's not, I don't know. My heart wasn't in it, you know? But essentially, an allergy is an overreaction of the immune system to certain foreign substances. Hypersensitivity of the immune system to certain allergens that you've came in contact with. So this could be through inhalation, ingestion, physical contact. How the immune system overreacts varies from person to person, though. So it could just be the usual, like sneezing, runny nose, watery or itchy eyes, or it could be vomiting, shitting yourself, or in my case, rash and blisters. Not fun. You got hives, anaphylaxis, dermatitis. You can be allergic to essentially anything: food, pollen, dust, animals, pet hair, latex, dust mites, drugs, shellfish, certain plants, bee venom.
Well, also that tick that gets you allergic to meat, pork, milk, basically anything that comes from a mammal, you're allergic.
Oh, that would suck. But apparently you can like maybe, this is not scientific, who knows if this is true, you can like maybe get rid of that allergy if you do that shit where you poke.
Oh yeah.
You have people poke you with needles.
I saw that. I forgot the name of it, but
acupuncture.
Yes.
Acupuncture might get rid of the
Some people
tick
swear
thing.
by it, and I don't know, but I feel like if I had that allergy, I'm not even a big meat eater, but the cheese would kill me. So like I'd have to get poked.
I would have to do it. I'd have to try it. What could it hurt? Who knows? Oh, hay fever also should be on that list. Hay fever affects 400 million of us around the world. A lot. Asthma affects 300 million. Food allergies, 200 to 250 million. Drug allergies, only about 10% of the world population, which surprised me.
Could you imagine being allergic to like cocaine?
See, I think this is talking more of like cephalosporins or...
Well, yeah, but like, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if you're just trying to be cool and you're going into anaphylactic shock?
Gabby,
I'm sorry.
no. And then everyone around you is like, they're overdosing.
Yeah,
and they shoot you up with adrenaline and you're like, no.
Like, it would be terrible, but like...
Get the epi.
It'd be terrible, but like, it'd be kind of funny.
We should know it'd be joke. Someone out there is like, my fucking friend had that happen.
Oh, no.
Pieces of shit.
No, I feel like that wouldn't happen, right? Like...
It probably does.
Oh, shit. Sorry if your friend got anaphylactic shock from cocaine. My heart goes out to them. I'm not even joking. I actually feel terrible now.
No, it probably doesn't happen. If it's happened to you, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
It probably does. Definitely never happened. So, what is the deciding factor on why we are allergic to certain things? Are we born with allergies, or like do they just form? Are they genetic? Let's dive into it. So to start, Nobody is born with allergies. We're going to circle back to that later. Because
Well-
in the beginning of this, I was like, nobody's born with allergies. And then I found contradictory research.
Because it's hereditary, right? Like, it could be like if your parents are allergic.
Yes.
But the other thing is, so Joya, she developed an allergy to dogs at 9 months old, which the doctor, the allergist, we had to take her to like an actual doctor to test her for allergies. And he was like, oh, babies this young are typically not allergic to anything. It's probably going to be fine. And so he does the little like skin test and he comes back into the room and he's like, oh, so are you like attached to this dog? And she was 9 months old and she was like, we
Aw.
took her in because her face was like, she was just like constant runny nose, itchy eyes, coughing, constantly
Those
couldn't
allergy
breathe.
tests, though, like a lot of the times when people get it, like everything on your fucking back will be a little circle knot. Like, what if you're allergic to pricks?
She was fine with the cats and the other ones that we did. And the dog was the only like reaction. And the moment like we moved her from the area of the dog, she was fine. So, but the thing is, this dog was terrible. And like, you know how there's this one section from the research paper where you said if stuff is, what was it? Orally ingested or whatever,
Yeah.
you're fine. But if it's like gets into your contact on your skin, it's not fine.
Yeah.
I feel like he used to pee in the house and poop and like
Yeah.
chew on all her stuff and scratch her. So maybe
So no matter what she's coming in contact
like she was
with.
fully exposed to that poor dog.
Yeah, that'll get you 99% of the time. It'll get you every time.
Yep. But her
Mhm.
uncle has a pretty gnarly dog allergy too. So maybe it's just like,
Maybe it's the genetics.
although, is it? From what you just
Is
said?
it? I don't know. Well, let's find out. Let's find out what research and researchers and scientists have to say. But at first, bear with me because I'm gonna read and then you're gonna be like, Brenna, that's contradictory, and I'll be like, I know. But we'll get into it. So, we do not become allergic to something until our immune system comes in contact with it for the first time. So once our body comes in contact with a future allergen, how does our immune system decide if it's a friend or an enemy? So let's think of our immune system as sort of a surveillance room, like the camera room in casinos that are constantly on the lookout for people counting cards and cheating the system and whatnot. But instead of our immune system looking for card sharks, it's on the lookout for bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxins. When these bad guys walk into our casino, either through our lungs, mouths, intestines, skin, the camera, which is our immune system in this analogy here, immediately picks them up on the radar. Once the bad guy is in its sights, now its job is to determine, is this an actual bad guy, a real threat to the body, or is it harmless?
I imagine like an allergic reaction would just be like a SWAT team raiding the casino.
Dive, dive, dive!
And it's just that guy holding like a water gun.
In my case, like a tomato. Like, I just taste good, guys.
O podcast parou, mas é bem rapidinho, tá? É só pra avisar que o Mês Stick tá chegando ao fim aqui no Pão de Açúcar. Essa é a chance perfeita de trocar seus pontos Sticks por refratários e talheres exclusivos com até 50% off. São vários modelos incríveis, um pra cada receita especial com gostinho de felicidade. Corre lá no app do Pão pra garantir o seu favorito. Pão de Açúcar, você feliz é tudo de pão.
Entrando em contato com atendimento ao cliente. Para muitas pessoas é um jeito fácil de arruinar um bom dia, mas na Zendesk nós deixamos a experiência do cliente melhor. Melhor para sua avó, melhor para o seu vendedor preferido de flores, melhor para o cara do apartamento 3A, melhor para você, melhor para todos. Porque enquanto alguns dizem que o cliente sempre tem razão, nós dizemos que o cliente é sempre humano. E como seres humanos, queremos fazer algo melhor para todos nós. Zendesk, experiência do cliente com IA desenvolvida para humanos.
So the majority of the time, our immune system will deem the presence of could-be allergens as harmless. But when the body decides it's harmless, this is a type of type 1 immune response, with the cell in charge being a regulatory T cell. But in a type 2 immune response, it is called an allergic sensitization, which I don't know why that is hard for me to say. The body also has a memory. So once you come in contact with it one time, it will recognize the substance forever. So once it decides something is an enemy, that's it. There is no turning back. It is a doodle that cannot be undid, so to speak. So if your immune system has picked out an enemy, like tomatoes, for example, the next time that your body or my body comes in contact with it, IgE molecules will release a shit ton of inflammatory players like histamine to make me have a very unpleasant or even deadly reaction to the allergy. So how the body reacts varies from person to person. With tomatoes, I get lovely blisters all over my mouth and sometimes cheeks when the reaction's more severe. But you know, some people just get hives or so on and so forth. I read an article called Early Life Factors That Affect Allergy Development by Lisa A. Reynolds and B. Brett Finlay from Michael Smith Laboratories at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, and it had some interesting key points. So, let's go over some of them, shall we? My computer just said its battery's close to dead. How is that a thing? Don't fret, guys. I'll save this.
How are you going to save this?
I'm going to pull it up on my cell phone.
I'm gonna call you. I don't remember the Drake song, but it's something about cell phones, right?
You
Are
used
people
to
still
call me
into-
on my cell phone?
Are people still into Drake? I feel like he got canceled
No,
after.
He got canceled after Jimmy got shot.
Who is Jimmy?
My Degrassi fans are like, Brenna.
Oh my God. I didn't watch
No,
Degrassi.
but he's a allegedly certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Pow, 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 pow,
That's going to be
pow.
at the Super Bowl.
Bitch, fuck 'em
Personally,
up.
I would not be able to survive that.
That's going to be at the Super Bowl?
I'm pretty sure he's performing at, like, Kendrick is performing at Super Bowl, right?
What?
Like,
I don't
that
know.
I would not be okay. If I were Drake, I'd be like, oof, this is it
Man,
for
fuck
me.
him up. I'm going to do my stuff.
He's rich enough to flee the country, so he could also just do
They're
that.
all going to Bali, I hear. All of the ditties. I need to stop. The diddler.
Okay. Well, anyway, the allergy.
he's like a bad guy, like Batman and the diddler. I'm sorry.
I wish you guys could see my face, but I support her.
Can't stop, won't stop. Key points. We're going to go over some of them, and I got y'all on my phone now in case my computer dies. The first key point states that the recent rise in the incidence of allergic disease suggests that changing environmental factors can influence the risk of allergic sensitization. Environmental exposures that occur during the first few months of life can influence the risk of allergy development in later childhood. So essentially, being exposed to certain allergens early in life can either promote a greater tolerance or, to the contrary, can cause an allergic sensitization. Interestingly enough, children who grow up on farms tend to have a lower allergy risk than children who grow up in rural or urban areas.
I grew up on a farm and I have like hardly any allergies.
Boom.
But my brother grew up on a farm and he didn't have many allergies until we moved to the US. And all of a sudden, even though we had 20 something dogs.
Maybe it's because he's exposed to like new.
I don't know, but we had 20 something dogs when we were kids because they were guard dogs.
And he was
fine. He was always around the dogs. He was always playing with the dogs. And then we moved to the US. And one day when he was like 16 years old, we had a German Shepherd. And he took a nap on the couch where the German Shepherd was. And his entire face swelled up. And ever since, he's had the worst reactions to dogs, even though he quite literally grew up surrounded by dogs.
I wonder what would cause his body to have such a late immune response.
I have no clue.
It's supposed to happen like the first time you're exposed.
Allergies are
But
so
allergies
weird.
can just pop up later on. They can just randomly be like, bloop.
Like he might have been a little sensitive to it, and it might have just like, you know how people can eat like
Yeah.
nuts and they don't realize they're like having a reaction, so they keep eating nuts and they're like, oh, it just feels a little weird when I eat nuts, and then one day they're threatened to get anaphylactic shock.
Yep.
So I feel
That's
like maybe
probably it.
that happened to
They're
him.
like, oh, I thought everyone's mouth swelled up when they eat this.
Like I'm pretty sure I have a little bit of sensitivity to dogs because every time I pet one, including my own, it's like I'm suffocating.
And anytime she eats cinnamon, she dies.
I still eat it though. It's too good. Do you smell my house? It's fully cinnamon.
It smells fucking good. It smells good in here. Some good shit. Anyways, back to the farm kids. There's a study done that evaluated data from more than 10,000 people living in 14 countries that concluded that adults who grew up on farms were less likely to have nasal symptoms of allergies. And these adults were 54% less likely to have asthma or hay fever. Direct quote coming up in 3, 2. Wait. First, I should say the article's name. article's name. The Effects of Growing Up on a Farm on Adult Lung Function in Allergic Phenotypes, an international study. And it's a whole bunch of people. Like normally I'll be like, oh, it was written by blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that now because it's a very big list. But if you want to like see the stuff, it's in the show notes. Anyways, 3, 2, and 1. As compared with city upbringing, those with early life farm exposure had less atopic sensitization. Atopic BHR, atopic asthma, and atopic rhinitis, but not atopic outcomes. Less pronounced protective effects were observed for rural environmental exposures. Women with a farm upbringing had higher FEV1, adjusted difference, some numbers, 110 milliliters, independent of sensitization and asthma. In an inner city environment, a highly biodiversity score was related to less allergic sensitization. I made that so confusing because of those stupid ass numbers.
Which don't help us because we don't know what they mean.
We don't know what they mean. We will find out what they mean. So the researchers are still unsure of what exactly is the reason for the correlation between being on a farm during your childhood and the development of allergies, but they do speculate that it could be potentially an exposure to certain microbes or maybe air pollution, perhaps physical activity, which to me, like that's a number of things. Like you're speculating, but you're just throwing slime at a wall.
It'd be really hard to get to get people on farms. Typically, they want to be left alone. So to get them to participate in a study would be difficult because my dad was a doctor, and if somebody came to him and were like, "Hey, can we use you?" No, he'd been like, "Get off my property," thing.
Can you please fuck off?
Like he was in that middle of nowhere for a reason.
Now you come to our farm. No, I was about to quote that one. You got a pretty mouth.
Can I still get a horse and keep it at your house?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you can. We got room. First, I got to get my life together. But then, first I got to get a different job. But then
we can get goats.
Farming. We're goating. I'm actually going to become TikTok famous, guys. So you all have heard of Mom Talk?
They're banning
with
it.
The Mormons. They're banning
TikTok, right? I think.
They better not, because this is my time. I'm a 28-year-old pregnant TikToker, and you all are gonna fucking love me.
You're gonna be Appalachian Mom Talk?
Yes, Appa Mom Talk.
I posted that to Patreon, but I cut out all the parts that were more disturbing. No, you were talking about the soaking. Oh my God.
I wasn't talking about incest. That's weird. Appalachian Mom Talk doesn't do that.
Guys.
It's just a rumor, okay?
If you could
I'm making up my own rumors to cause drama.
$100, I will screenshot our text conversation and send it to you.
I just brought up soaking one time. And I didn't even say we should try. I did.
You did. She did. It was really disturbing, guys.
But then Gabby was like, that just makes us Mormon. I feel like there's more to being Mormon than soaking.
Yeah.
There's also that one thing that the kids on the campus that they interview.
They can't drink caffeine. And then also you have to wear.
But they're drinking Diet Coke.
You have to wear like garments under your clothes. Your clothes can't be too short.
Isn't that essentially just undies?
Yeah, but they're really big garments, Brenna. Like, Google it. And then if you're not part of the church, you can't go into like their worship hall. So I feel like, yeah, maybe we couldn't be Mormon. We'd be really bad at that.
I don't know. It's so funny, the TikToks that people do where they interview the Mormon kids. They're like, would you rather shoot a dog or would you rather drink coffee? And they're like, obviously coffee. Or no, they're like, obviously shoot a dog. It's the morally right choice. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait,
I try not to judge. Really, really. Those kids are like, yeah.
Fuck that
obviously,
dog.
I'd rather kill a fucking dog.
Oh my
God wants me to
God.
kill a dog rather than drink coffee, but I'll drink Diet Coke all day long, bitch. What?
That's crazy.
I'm not judging.
I mean,
I'm not
good for
judging.
them, I guess. I mean, the dog could have done something bad. So
I'm not judging. Judging a little.
just because the dog is involved, I'm judging like a little.
Just because the dog is involved.
But I don't care if people drink caffeine. I stopped drinking
I don't
caffeine.
care if you drink caffeine. Me and Gab have like heart things sometimes.
I was literally in Prague and I was like, oh my God, guys, I cannot drink this coffee. But then I was like doing a shot of tequila. So really,
Yeah.
you pick your battles. How did we get here?
I'm trying to find my place again.
Oh,
Okay.
dear God.
All right, here we are, guys, and we're back. We were talking about it could be a number of things. So something else cool that the study suggested that I feel I need to add. Women who lived on a farm before age 5 consistently had stronger lungs as adults. But even weirder, this correlation was not of any significance in men. Men. But like women, you are on a farm, you got lungs of steel, girl. Men,
Oh, is that why I probably am like awesome and my
but your
brother's
brother's
fucked
a little
up?
weakling. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a weakling.
He's a doctor, but he's a weakling.
No, he's not. He called me a 5-year-old one time and I still ain't let it go.
Imagine not being able to pet a dog without like sneezing until tomorrow. That would suck. Like that's
But
weakling
imagine
behavior.
not being able to eat fresh salsa without your mouth swelling up.
Hey y'all, spooky season is here. And if you're looking for a show to whet your appetite for a little haunted history, then I'd like to invite you to check out Southern Gothic, a chart-topping history podcast that explores some of the most infamous legends, folklore, ghost stories, and hauntings of the American South. We've covered all sorts of stuff from the Bell Witch of Tennessee to the disappearance of the Confederate submarine, the H.L. Hunley. Not to mention our deep dives into the local lore of some of America's oldest and most haunted cities, like New Orleans, Charleston, and St. Augustine. So, if you're ready for a little good old-fashioned Halloween storytelling with a commitment to quality historical research, then be sure to check out Southern Gothic today. It's available now on all your favorite podcast apps.
I had to call into work, guys.
Okay,
man.
I feel like the
And now I'm not
episodes-
eligible for a pay raise.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the episodes are better when we're in person though, because when you're over there,
It's different. And then
the
we have
Wi-Fi
to-
drops
The
constantly.
Wi-Fi. Well, I did. God, that was a fucking task. Sorry, guys. We're tangenting, but it's necessary. Okay, so moved to my new house, moved upstairs. I got Starlink. All is well. It's whatever. It's not whatever. So I had the incorrect cable for my microphone this whole fucking time. And you all were like, Brenna, your voice is hissing. Your voice is buzzing. You sound like shit. I hear you. I am with you. So I went to Guitar Center and I was like, hey, I think my cord's broken. Whenever I plug it in all the way, it doesn't even pick up my mic. But if I leave it hanging out like halfway, it'll work. And then the guy was like, no, you have the wrong type of cable. This
But-
is for guitars.
I just want to point out that multiple times I was like, hey, make sure your XLR cable. I said the words XLR.
It's probably
like
still in the
500
text
times.
messages.
And so at some point, Brenna, I guess, didn't know what an XLR was. So
No
she was
idea.
like, this is fine. But she didn't Google it.
No, I didn't Google it. I didn't give it a Goog at all.
What were you using?
I
Like
was
a
raw
jack?
dogging it.
You were
It's
using
called
like a...
XLS maybe or something. It's for guitars. It'll hook up your Rode. I don't know. It's a guitar cable.
I was...
This woman at Guitar Center, she could have sold me a box of rocks. She's very beautiful, Yara. If you're hearing this, I'm sorry. You distracted me because you're very pretty. But you knew what you were talking about. Anyways, it's me. I have the blame. No one's to blame but me. And the guy that works at Guitar Center that fixed me up listens to this podcast, and he's probably going to go tell Yara.
Oh, no.
It's okay. Shout out to the guy at Guitar Center who fixed me up. Oh, yeah. He was like, I've listened to a few of your all's episodes, and they're pretty good. And then I was like, thanks. My co-host, she's more like tech savvy than I am, her and her husband. And of course, when you mention Steve, everyone's like, Steve.
Oh,
Everybody
man.
knows Steve.
Everybody knows Steve. It's
Everybody
so
knows
weird.
Steve. Like, I get tickled when people are like, oh, I like your and Gab's podcast. It's cool. But like when I'm out with Gab and Steve, sometimes people be like, oh, you're that guy. And I'm like, what? That's weird to me. I'm not used to it. I'm sure you all are very used to it. But
Imagine you're having a fight in the middle of nowhere, Stockholm, right? And then you're like literally about to rip his head off. And then someone is like, oh my God, it's you. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even be mad at my husband.
in
a
public right now.
Yeah, literally. Because, we on the plane back, we were like we got an upgrade and like I was so mad at him because he fucked something up. And the guy said, and I literally on the flight, I like laid into him. I said some pretty, they were bangers, I will say. But when we got up to get off the flight, the guy behind was like, "Oh my God, I heard your voice." And I just knew it was you. And I was like, "Oh my God, did you hear everything we said?"
No.
Fuck.
I hope maybe one day if people recognize me, man, when me and Chris fight, hopefully no one ever recognizes him. Good Lord. He'll be the reason I get canceled one day. Love his heart. I'm of no relation to that man.
You just disowned him.
I have never had sexual relations. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. I don't know how we got here again.
We need to stop. It's because we haven't been together in so long. Look at us go. Okay, so we're going to circle back to the previous article, and we're going to move on to the second point. Quote, the timing of the first exposure to potential allergens, as well as the route of the first exposure, can influence whether tolerance or allergic sensitization occurs. Cutaneous antigen exposure predisposes towards a T helper 2, Th2, cell skewing environment, which leads to allergic sensitization, whereas oral antigen exposure predisposes towards tolerogenic responses that are mediated by retinal dehydrogenase 2, RALPH-DH2 exposing dendritic cells.
Do you even explain that one?
Gab's got this one.
Okay. So basically, when you first get exposed, if you're exposed through your skin, you will have like an allergic sensitization, but oral antigen exposure, you have more of a tolerance to it, if that makes sense, because all of those cells regulate immune responses, which I wouldn't think that. Like, imagine, like, you know what I mean? You'd think eating something would make you more likely to have an allergic reaction, but no, like, it's the
something weird.
cutaneous.
So something weird about when I eat tomatoes, when I have an allergic reaction, the inside of my mouth is completely fine. My throat is fine. Like my lips or the outside of my cheeks will have an allergic reaction.
So contact.
The inside of my mouth is perfectly fine. There are no blisters, no sores, no nothing. So in theory, I feel like if it didn't touch the outside of my mouth whatsoever while I was eating it, I could potentially be okay.
Joya has that with berries, and they said it was contact dermatitis. So
I think the acidity in the tomatoes fucks up my skin on the outside.
just like roll it up in something, like roll it up in a tortilla and just.
Well, like I can get away with, like, let's say Taco Bell accidentally put some tacos or put some tomatoes on my taco. And then I realize halfway through eating the taco, I'll probably be fine. I will be fine. It's happened to me many a times. But fresh salsa at an amazing Mexican restaurant that they had just chopped up in the back that I ate a whole thing of, licking my lips. And
Don't lick your lips.
man, that guacamole too. And I ate it 2 days in a row, guys. I ate it 2 days in a row because I thought I was having an allergic reaction to mangoes. So I was like, you know what? The baby wants that salsa again. I'm a fucking idiot, I swear. Now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I could go for round 3, but I won't. But I could, but I won't.
Where was the salsa
I love
from?
Mexican food. Muy. I'm so white. Mi pueblo in Danville, Kentucky.
Right. I
I
think I
shouldn't
know
tell
what that
people
is.
exactly. Man, it's so fresh and it's so good. It's like guacamole, fire. Queso, fire. I'm hungry.
The food in Danville is good. Steven went to college there, and the
Oh.
only thing they have is food and bars.
Man, the new place I've been going to that's way too expensive for Brenna and I can't afford it. My mom, I've been craving their garlic aioli fries, so my mom sent me money, bless her sweet angel heart, for me to go get their garlic aioli fries because I was thinking about it for days straight. But what's it called? I don't know. We can't dwell on it. We can't dwell. But if you research best lunch places in Danville, Kentucky, it's in the top 5. But one meal there is $50. Pasta there is $36. It's worth it. You can take a lot home. You can eat on it for 3 days. But they also have calamari. We need to stop. I'm so hungry. I'm going to have to break out my pickle jar in my car and eat some pickles on the way home. Okay, so Gab explained that one, and then I'm going to cover all the rest of the key points all at once, and then we'll go over them like as a whole at the end of the conversation. So we quit going on tangents. Anywho, exposure to microbial endotoxins alongside potential allergens can protect against allergic sensitization through the stimulation of innate pattern recognition receptors. Many of the environmental factors that are associated with allergy development modify the composition and diversity of the microbiota. Recent studies have demonstrated that the microbiota composition in the first few months of life can be predictive of allergy development in later childhood. And studies in mice have demonstrated that the absence of key bacterial microbiota species can be a driving factor in allergy development. Infection with pathogens can protect against allergic sensitization by promoting tolerogenic responses, or can exacerbate existing disease by promoting the release of Th2 cell skewing cytokines. Fungal infections in certain bacterial and viral species are associated with the exacerbation of existing allergies, whereas helminth species in certain bacterial and viral species are associated with protection against allergic sensitizations. It is clear that there are notable differences in the quality of immune responses to foreign antigens and stimuli, even in the few weeks after birth in mice. How this development time window translates into the setting of human neonates is not clear yet, though. Both microorganism-derived and helminth, am I saying that right, Gab? Helminth-derived molecules have great potential for therapeutic and prophylactic use in infants who are at high risk of developing allergies. Now we discuss. Gab, your thoughts?
On all of that?
That was a mouthful, but I did understand what I was reading.
Yeah.
So I hope you all understood. It wasn't too scientific for me, so I hope you all listening were like, okay, makes sense. Makes sense, Brent.
Wonder though how. So we test on a lot of things on mice, right? But we can't do human testing. So how do we know, like, okay, our babies, like, we want to know how we can help prevent allergies in them. How do we do that? Do we just test on mice and then hope it translates?
I bet we do test on babies.
I feel like we can't legally test on babies,
honey,
right?
Not legally. We ain't doing it legally.
We're just borrowing some babies.
Well, we're not doing it. I'm just kidding. We're really not. We're really not doing it. But yeah, they love to. I'll dive into that in a little bit. But we love testing shit on people, secret like.
You know how we can't. You shouldn't give your baby honey or like anything with honey in it.
Like,
until they're a year old.
I'm allowed to have honey now, ain't I? No.
I never had honey while I was pregnant, but maybe. I feel like if the honey isn't a risk to you, then you should be fine.
I don't know.
Maybe Google that.
It's worth a Goog.
But you can't, like, also peanut butter. So, like, when I gave Joya peanut butter, I was so scared because, like, you don't know.
Most people will give peanut butter the first time in the parking lot of a hospital.
Or, like, at the pediatrician.
Yeah.
So, which is, like, I feel like the safest.
That's risky business.
You just don't know. Because one baby will be fine and the other one will be not fine.
Or it could be fine the first few times and then boom.
It's the scariest thing.
Allergies later. And apparently, like, pregnancy can make you develop new allergies.
Yeah.
We're moving on, heading up, moving on, rawhide. But wait, Brenna, so are allergies hereditary? Gabby brought this up earlier. How could they even be hereditary if we don't have them at birth? Well, there are a bunch of studies that show that allergies are hereditary. What exactly does this mean? These allergies are passed down through genes from parents to children. Statistically speaking, you are 50% more likely to develop an allergy if one of your parents has an allergy. You are 75% more likely to have allergies if both of your parents have them. And so I find this confusing and almost contradictory to what we previously discussed. And we're going to dive more into it to see if it helps Bren or others understand it a little better. Next article. Genetic risk factors for the development of allergic disease identified by genome-wide association. Brought to you by M.A. Portelli, E. Hodge, and I. Sayers. According to the article, an allergy is a hypersensitive, inflammatory immune response to innocuous environmental antigens mediated by immunoglobulin type E, IgE antibodies. We already know this. We've discussed this. This is old news. This is by definition the underlying cause of an allergic disease. but there is significant heterogeneity between different allergic reactions. Allergic asthma, atopic dermatitis, parentheses AD, which is eczema, or seasonal allergic rhinitis, which is hay fever. We're just going to call it hay fever.
I just got eczema. I got an eczema diagnosis in my little today.
You got eczema?
Apparently.
That's a
Divine.
Sorry. Is it divine?
I love
you
that
got
one.
eczema? I say
I
that to
quote it
Chris
all the time.
I do too. All the time. You got eczema? Oh, shit. I am sorry that you have eczema, though. That's not
I never
vibe.
had it before. I just got it last month and it came back.
Yeah, if they said it'll come back in the same spot
Yeah.
when it does come back.
And the doctor was like,
is that like an autoimmune? Or no, I guess it's an
it's an
allergic reaction.
allergy. Yeah.
What?
And she said it'll probably go away because I've never had it before. So
Yeah, it'll go away.
Because the one in my ear, I have ear eczema. I have
I knew
eczema
that.
in my ear.
Yeah, I knew
And
that.
it went away.
Yeah.
It
It'll
was just
probably
there
go
for like
away.
a year.
I keep getting distracted looking at your fucking titties, not Gabby's titties.
Oh my god. My boob mouse pad, but it's
Her
not boobs.
Boob mouse pad.
It's pecs because it's Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It's titties. That is titties.
They're pecs.
I'm staring at the areola. I need to stop. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Some people probably just really want to learn about allergies. They're like, these fucking bitches.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. We love a good time. I also want you guys to keep in mind that we don't fully understand the development of allergic disease yet. I don't want to say we're guessing, but let's say we are continuously learning more, as with most science. We think we know it, and then something else comes along to prove us wrong. The human body is complex. Understanding the environmental and genetic components of allergies is also complex. So with the recent increase in allergies throughout the years, we thought that environmental factors were to blame. For example, tobacco, smoke exposure, respiratory viral infections, use of antibiotics, diet, and exposure to more allergens are a few ways that the article listed that could, be the culprit. So the first study that they performed to identify the heritability of allergies found that 48.4% of a group of 621 sensitized individuals had a family history of sensitization to common environmental allergens, compared with only 14.5% of the control group of 76 non-sensitized individuals. My mother, brother, sister, and I are all allergic to poison ivy, oak, etc., but my dad isn't. Interesting. My siblings and parents, they all love tomatoes. I'm allergic. My sister is allergic to orange juice. It makes her throw up. Weird. And I've been chugging orange juice all day. And I'm also allergic to a medication, which I have discovered is somewhat rare now, like less than 10%. And I was asking around at work, hey, are any of you all allergic to any medications? And they're all like, no. You allergic to any medication?
Penicillin. It makes me gives me gastro issues. It's terrible. I throw up.
You would have died back
But-
in the day.
Which
Well, we
is-
would have died anyways before penicillin was.
Well, I had to take it intravenously, so they had to give me because when I had Joya, there was some bacteria or whatever, so they gave it to me. But then I had a C-section anyway, so they filled me up with antibiotic, and I was sick. And then she didn't even need it because she took the
Damn.
sunroof from the C-section. So very
Oh,
sick.
I was
Strep
like, what do you
B.
mean sunroof?
Well, there's this thing that a lot of people have, so they test you for it. So then if you have that infection, they give you antibiotics
I've
before
seen
you
that.
deliver.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I had a C-section. It didn't fucking matter.
Man, sidetracked. I don't have ADHD, but the fucking Ethernet cord. Gabby we were talking about first. My whatchamacallit broke, and then we talked about Yara. But the Ethernet cord, the internet. This is why it's not as fun when me and Gabby record separately, because my fucking Starlink, Elon. No, I'm just kidding. But my Starlink, just cuts out. And then we're just looking at each other and it stops. And then one of us is like, we kind of got to keep talking and we got to pretend like we're still here with each other. And then we got to pick up where we left off. And then it's lagging. So I want to respond to Gabby's funny joke that she made. But if I do, am I 20 seconds too late?
It's so weird because when I'm editing, then the joke is literally 20 seconds too late. And I'm like, we're going to cut that out.
But I spent literally an hour I didn't put a hole in my floor. There were already holes in my floor. But putting an Ethernet cord through, and I had to MacGyver that shit. and like get a wire hanger and then tape an Ethernet cord through the wire hanger. And then my dumb ass thought I was only going to have to put it through one hole, but the floor and the ceiling are not the same thing because I'm upstairs. The floor and the ceiling are separate, so you have to put it through the floor and then you have to find the hole in the ceiling and put it through the ceiling. It was a process, but I did it. And that internet better fucking work.
We'll find out next week on Mystery of Everything.
On Appalachian Mom Talk.
It's not going to happen.
It's happening. I'm going to start recording myself dancing on a table because that's what Mormon Mom Talk is. No, one of them does that. Jen.
I haven't watched the show
Jen
yet.
with the terrible husband. I do. I like you, Jen. You're Zach. Zach. Everyone listening is like, fucking Zach.
God damn it, Zach.
Oh,
Get it together,
man.
Zach.
He's a controller. Zach's mom.
Zach's mom is involved? Oh,
Yeah,
I gotta watch
all
this.
The moms are. You do need to watch it.
It'll
though,
piss
on
me
the
off
real.
though, because I hate when the moms are involved. Like, why is your
She's-
mother in our marriage?
No, the
homie?
mom's not. See, the mom's not involved in the show. The mom's involved if you dive into it, like you deep dive, like I do on TikTok, and then the mom will like post like
The mom is posting on
not
my
on
God.
TikTok, but you know, TikTok will share that she's posted it elsewhere. She'll post like little like backhanded remarks that you know are about Jen, but she don't come out and like say it's about Jen. But because mothers just think their boys are just perfect in every single way.
God
And
damn
boys
it,
could never
Zach.
do anything wrong. Okay, so we're gonna. What is happening?
I don't know. We're like 47 minutes in. Everybody stopped listening 30 minutes ago.
They're still listening. They're just. You have to just let it happen. Just let it happen. That sounds so inappropriate.
We're talking about twins.
We're talking about. No, we weren't talking about twins yet.
Yeah, because you talked about the medication allergies and then we went off on a tangent. So we were talking about twins.
Oh, we're about to talk about twins. So the article also mentions recent studies performed on twins that provide further evidence for allergy heritability. Oh, how I love twin studies. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I knew that I brought it up. Future Brenna would bring it up, so I didn't bring it up earlier. I'm bringing it up now. I'm doing experiments on fucking people. So, I only enjoy twin studies when twins consent, by the way, because we've all seen 3 Identical Strangers, and that shit got to me. Gabby probably hasn't because she don't watch TV. I liked it so much that I bought it on DVD. Who buys shit on? I ordered it from Amazon. It wasn't available to just put it on your phone. I ordered it from Amazon on fucking DVD.
Do you have a DVD player in
I have a
2024?
PlayStation.
They work for DVDs?
I have an old PlayStation.
Oh,
think
so
they
like,
do.
does the 4 play a DVD? Because I have the PS4. I have 2 PS4s.
I feel like it does. Yeah.
Ah, do
Yeah,
that.
you can watch DVDs. I have an insane DVD collection, by the way.
I had one. I don't know where it is.
Like, I have those things, you zip them up, the DVD cases that you flip through because you've lost all the cases. I got like 4 of those, and they
Oh
go
my God.
way back. I also have an entire tote of VHS tapes under my bed.
Getting off track again.
It's fucking
Because
hell.
I had so much to add to that.
That's for we'll continue this conversation when we record the Patreon after this. If you want to keep hearing it, subscribe to the Patreon. So, the government used to do some crazy shit to twins and to triplets. I recommend that you all do watch 3 Identical Strangers. The government would like separate them at birth and then not even tell their adoptive parents that they had siblings, and then they would do studies on them. Yeah. So, watch that show. It's fucking good. So, to direct quote, they provided further evidence for allergy heritability due to the higher levels of concordance for allergic phenotypes in monozygote compared with the dizygote twins, where atopy heritability is estimated between 50% and 84%. Heritability estimates for allergic disease vary, but have been described as high as 95% for asthma, 91% for AR, which is hay fever, and 84% for AD, which is basically eczema.
Wow. So basically, if you're a twin, you're more likely to have all of these things, like the same allergies.
Yeah.
That would suck. Could you imagine you and your
Statistically
twin
speaking.
can both get taken out by crabs? Like a crab, not like crabs, but
I was
crab.
gonna
Crab
say,
eats shellfish.
What the fuck? Where are you?
I meant shellfish, but I'm sure someone out there is allergic to ticks.
What if you're allergic to like downstairs crabs?
That would be horrific.
How do you find out? Well, I guess exposure. Okay. Different allergic diseases are related by overlapping Gabby, say that word.
Etiology.
Etiology, i.e. elevated IgE. Therefore, comorbidity.
Was like, good try.
Comorbidity due to a genetic component is logical. However, other factors are important within disease per se, non-IgE mechanisms in asthma. Initial allergic sensitization occurs on exposure to an allergen breaching the epithelial barrier due to disruption or dysfunction, which may have genetic and/or environmental causes. See Figure 1. Specifically, disruption of the epidermal barrier is considered to be the first step in the development of eczema. This cutaneous sensitization might then become systematic and subsequently give rise to other allergies, such as AR. This phenomenon is referred to as atopic march and contributes to comorbidity of allergies. And then I do, like I said, Figure 1, but I actually have Figure 1 attached because I think it's interesting. So the figure shows us the potential process for development of an allergy. Both environmental and genetic factors can come into play when influencing barrier integrity and sensitization to different allergens. This is where we see a Th2 dominant environment, elevated IgE levels like we previously discussed, that can trigger immune response. I'm also going to attach another photo that is a Venn diagram showing the genes identified through genome-wide association studies as associated with allergic diseases, asthma, atopic dermatitis, and allergic rhinitis. I just can't do it. Genes highlighted in black identify those discovered in Caucasian populations, with italics defining promising genes that nearly achieve genome-wide significance. Genes highlighted in blue identify those genes discovered in non-Caucasian populations, while those in red identify the genes discovered in both Caucasian and populations of other ancestry. You all can't see this now, but if you click on the gram, you'll be able to see it. And I don't know, I just thought it was interesting.
Of genes for all of them would be C11 or 30. That's interesting because there's not a lot of overlap.
No, there's not a lot of overlap.
Interesting.
See, I just thought it was cool. And of course, we don't have time to go over like the genes and the pictures and whatnot, but I do find the picture itself interesting. And I think you guys will too.
So we would probably have different genes for different like allergies, or for even the same allergy. That'd be funny.
That would be crazy. Very cool. Anyways, you all let me know, like if you give it a look, give it a gander, then let me know what you think of it, because I just thought it was kind of interesting. It's crazy what we've learned by looking at genetics and our genome. You can tell a lot about a person by their genome sequence, like which medications work better or worse, etc. I did PGX testing at work, which is pharmacogenomics. Yeah, pharmacogenomics, which uses your genetics to help predict the way you will react to a drug. It combines the sciences of pharmacology, which is the study of drugs, and genetics. I still have the packet somewhere. It even shows which SSRIs work best, and coincidentally, the one that I've been on for years is apparently a good one for my genetics, which is good. Anyways, weird fact I found out while reading, babies born in winter have a higher chance of developing asthma, while those born in autumn have an increased risk of eczema.
You got eczema.
You got eczema.
I was born in September, but I was born in a place with two seasons, wet and dry.
I don't know. I don't know what to say to that.
I don't know either. I feel like I'm allergic to my dog.
No, he's a good boy. Oh, Book a good boy. There are also studies done that show food allergy arises from a complex interplay between environmental triggers and genetic susceptibility. Researchers have found a heritability component of food allergy that has been observed in multiple studies, it seems. According to the article, The Genetics of Food Allergy, which is actually like a thick-ass book, I think, a number of monogenic diseases characterized by food allergy have elucidated pathways that may be important in pathogenesis. There are also several population-based genetic variants associated with the food allergy that have been identified. The summary of the findings states that the genetic mechanisms that play a role in the development of food allergy are heterogeneous and complex. Advances in our understanding of the genetics of food allergy and how this predisposition interacts with the environmental exposures to lead to disease will improve our understanding of the key pathways leading to food allergy and inform more effective prevention and treatment strategies. Well, guys, I feel like I, for one, have learned a lot about allergies. Writing this has made me think of the movie Osmosis Jones.
Never seen it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
You all have seen it. Bill Murray, he's so gross in that movie, but he's got to be because germs. We're going to make Gabby watch it. Closing time.
I was just thinking of singing that.
You don't have to go home, but you can stay here. That's my way of saying this is the end of the episode. Finally, I hope you've enjoyed the banter. I wrote that in advance because I knew. Fucking knew. Don't let your meatloaf. Subscribe to our Patreon if you want to hear my opinion on who allegedly killed Tupac. Science? Not really. Mystery? Yes. This is the mystery of everything after all.
I just wrote
Thank you.
an hour and a half worth of rock stars off dying in horrible ways. So I feel like it is the mystery of everything.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
It was last week's episode, the 27 Club.
I haven't listened to the 27 Club yet.
It's 2 parts. It's pretty. It's a lot. A lot.
I'm gonna listen to it on the drive home today.
But I feel like it's way more fun to record in person.
It's way more fun to record in person. And I don't like when we record stuff separately, then I miss things. Like the 27 Club.
Yeah.
That would have been super fun with me and not Steve. Not that I don't love Steve. Not that Steve's not a fun guy. I love Steve, but I wanna be in the action. All right, anyways, thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.